Hello YouTube viewers. Today I'm cutting amber. It's a very soft gemstone, 2.5 on the MOHS scale, and it's a real challenge to cut this gemstone. This one has no insects in it or no inclusions at all. It's a really clean piece, and I want to thank my friend Dean for this piece. And I'm going to cut this pear design, the Easy Pear 125 by Robert Long. And the cutting went pretty good on this stone. The crown's a little out of sequence, but I adapted to it. It's kind of unusual the way it's listed here, and there's also no cutting tips on this design, which I kind of miss. But one of the first challenges of this gemstone is how to dopp the stone, because it's so soft, it's so heat sensitive. You have to use white glue is what most people use because it's water soluble. And so I tried this white glue and it failed, and I tried this about 3 times. I couldn't get it to hold. And next I tried Elmer's white glue, and it didn't work either. So I didn't show it in this clip, but I actually used epoxy for this initial dopping. Okay, so I have the stone dopped with the epoxy, and I'm making the first cut here. You can see I'm using a 3000 grit lap for cutting, which is very unusual. It's such a soft stone, you have to use a very fine lap, and it leaves a polished finish, which was very nice. So I'm working my way on around the stone here, and here I've just about gotten a lot of these pavillion facets cut to a culet point. And once again, being that this stone is so soft, cutting is very rapid, and you've got to be very careful or you will overcut your facets very quickly. And that happened a couple times. I had to go back and recut, and here I'm still working these facets and getting most of it to a culet tip just right. And you can see it looks like I've polished, but that's just the way it looks from using the 3000 lap. Here I'm cutting the girdle facets at 90 degrees. This is what's going to give me the outline of the pear shape. Your girdle facets, when you cut a pear, and this is a meat point design, which gives you that shape as you cut those girdle facets. Once again, that's all going really well, and here's another shot of all the girdle facets are cut now, and it's looking really good. The glue is holding, not having any problems with the stone loosening at all using the epoxy for that. Okay, here I'm using Beast 100K diamond polish from Lightning Lap on a plain resin lap, and I polished with that, but I really wasn't happy with the polish. It still had tiny scratches on it on the stone, but here's the finished polished stone with 100K 100,000 diamond polish. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I transferred the stone. This time I had to use the white glue, and I figured since I'm dopping into using the cone dopp, I would have better support and I would be okay. So it did seem to work okay, and I was just being very careful and using a light touch with the white glue. And another secret is to coat the white glue with clear nail polish, women's fingernail polish, or men's. But anyway, that kind of seals up the glue from the water that you're going to get on your stone and makes it waterproof until it's time to remove it. And I was able to separate the epoxy on the first dopp stone with a hot knife. I didn't apply any heat to the dopp or to the stone. I used a hot knife to cut the epoxy glue loose. And here I'm cutting the crown and starting on some of the main facets. Here I'm working on the table facet, the very last facet of this gemstone. I've got my table adapter in, cutting it a 45-degree angle, and then using the adapter puts it at 0 degrees for the table. And once again, I'm using the 3000 grit plated lap with no polish. I did not try to polish this one. This crown, I just used that lap, and I got a really nice polish the way it was. So here I am soaking the stone just in water, and it only took about an hour for it to release from the white glue and the nail polish. So once I took it off, it cleaned up very easily, and here it is, the finished stone. And I've got to be very careful. It's so soft. I can't even take a chance in using gemstone holders to hold the stone, because steel is 5 on the MOHS scale. It will scratch this stone very easily. Even a hard plastic, I think plastic is 3 on the MOHS scale, it will scratch. So I've got to be very careful in handling this stone, or it'll end up being scratched. And there, it's a 2-carat stone. I put it on the scale, and there's the finished stone view from the top. And I'm going to put it on the turntable here for a little while and show that. This is under LED lighting in my workshop. I didn't take it outside to show it on the turntable. Today the weather's bad. There's no sun shining here in Florida, but you got a good view here of what it looks like. And but some of the main challenges, like I said, for amber, this is the first one I've cut too, so I don't have much experience. I just had help from my friend Dean, who's cut quite a bit of it. He helped me tremendously on how to do this. So that's the story.